Marjorie Taylor Greene, Democrats are a party of groomers and predators, she says. Okay, let's put her up full mass. Very interesting dynamic, right? In a recent 60 minutes interview, Marjorie Taylor Greene doubled down on some of her previous remarks regarding the Democratic Party. When prompted on her prior claim that the Democrats are a party of pedophiles, that's what she said. Okay? Greene hastened to confirm the baseless assertion. The quote, "I would definitely say so," she said. They support grooming children. Democrats support, even Joe Biden, the president himself, supports children being sexualized and having transgender surgeries. Greene spewed. Sexualizing children is what pedophiles do to children. Meanwhile, an actual GOP strategist was just convicted of teen sex trafficking in Minneapolis. What has Marjorie Taylor Greene said about him? Not a damn thing. Nothing. This is an update to a story we previously reported on. You're looking at Anton Lazzaro, a wannabe playboy on Instagram who used his riches to pump up the Minnesota Republican Party and recruit teenage girls for sexual encounters. He was convicted by a Minnesota jury Friday for sex trafficking minors. At trial, prosecutors laid out how Lazzaro preyed on broken girls, to which his defense lawyer countered were simply girls he was trying to fix. The victims testified that Lazzaro would take them to his swanky Minneapolis condo where he'd ply them with Everclear, the strongest liquor on the market. Put up one of the witnesses against him. Lazzaro paid tens of thousands of dollars to have sex with high school students, even using one as a recruiter. The feds eventually caught the 19-year-old Gisela Castro Medina, turned her into a witness against him. Federal Election Commission records show Lazzaro donated to Republicans for nearly a decade, with his contributions ramping up sharply in 2016. He also played a big part in former President Donald Trump's anti-democratic attempts to remain in the White House after losing in 2020. As Lazzaro was on the short list of the Minnesota's GOP slate of alternate presidential electors who could substitute for any missing delegates according to state election records. There's more. The court case, which lasted a year and a half, underwent bizarre twist as Lazzaro turned on his lawyers and briefly represented himself, wasting time trying to get his Ferrari back instead of mounting an intelligent defense. The Daily Beast first revealed in 2021 that the FBI had been investigating Lazzaro and had raided his apartment. When asked about his preying on teenage girls weeks before the arrest, he threatened to dox the reporter and run an online harassment campaign because of the threat of report. A former Lazzaro business associate and ex-felon, Benjamin Friedland, was penalized with a longer prison sentence for trying to help feds prosecute the sex trafficking case. All right. Wow. So here's the hypocrisy, because I want people to understand Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trumpites, they will utilize these particular red meat dynamics in order to infuriate their base. They don't really care about children. They don't care about the dynamics of foster care or recruitment or even child sex trafficking. They don't. What they care about is power. Their ideology is power. Because the same people who would talk about these elements of evil are the same ones who refuse to literally say anything about those who engage in this kind of evil by way of conviction. There is no doubt this person did exactly what the narrative says. This person is now convicted by a jury of his peers. Where is the outrage from Marjorie Taylor Greene? Where is the outrage from Trump supporters? Where is the outrage from QAnon or any of the groups who swear that Democrats are the ones harming children when you have a real monster in your ranks giving you money every day. Has anyone from the GOP returned a damn dime from this monster? No, and they won't. Why? Because they don't care about children, nor are they concerned about ethics and morality. They're concerned about one thing, making you believe they are. All right, Rickey, thoughts here.
Yeah, it just seems like they always try to accuse people on the left and Democrats of stuff like that, and they always caught up in some kind of scam. The Florida congressman,
yep,
had those issues with those teenage girls, and then you had that senator years ago from Utah,
that's right,
had the bathroom scandal, and like you said, they're a bunch of hypocrites. And it seems like people that just always go against and preaching against people to the left, they struggle with whatever issues they struggle with. And they are just hypocrites and sick themselves, in my opinion.
That's right. And you can tell sometimes, and you know this, Rickey, the people that are screaming the loudest are the ones trying to get you not to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
Yep.